think that America is trying to be better.
Of course not. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I think there's also I think there's a massive attack on femininity. Like the idea is that masculinity is actually what's being attacked, right? Like everything is watered down, everything is softened now. Everything is feminine. I actually think femininity is under control. I think that a big part of the reason why this is happening is because women got too close to power.
Okay, how so?
I mean, the audacity that a black woman would run for president. I mean, this was their last stand. They're like, hold on, listen, we let you in boardrooms, we let you get credit cards. Running for president is too much audacity for us. When you have like cute aggression, when you see something that's like so cute, you just start spazzing out. They had like audacity aggression. Like
Joy Taylor says femininity is under attack in America because women got too close to power, and reveals she believes prostitution should be legal. This is her solution to the problems we have right now in the world, everybody. Claiming non-P getting lonely men are deteriorating society. Wow.
How the fuck could she do this?
Yeah.
She's supposed to fucking stay in line.
Yeah.
There's too many. Get them out of here. And that's what it's really about. So rolling back of women's rights and this push that women have somehow created this world where there's too much equality and we can make choices about when we have children, and that marriage rates are dropping because nobody wants to deal with a cheating alcoholic man when you can just get your own apartment.
Yeah.
Guys are lonely. Men in these caves that would never touch a woman in their life anyway have convinced themselves that OnlyFans models are curving them because they sent them $5. It is this attack on femininity. It's not about masculinity.
Right. But let me ask you a question about the incels. Do you think the incels, do you care about the loneliness of the incel?
I think that male loneliness is a massive problem.
Okay, so
I think getting male lonelies are deteriorating society. Yeah, I think it's a massive problem.
What do you think the fix is?
I think we should legalize prostitution.
Okay.
This is why you can't listen to just anybody. Non-P getting dudes is who she believes looks at women like her and thinks this is part of the problem. I'm sure she is probably addressing and thinking about these things for the first time in her life. When it comes to men and incel, meaning involuntarily celibate, most of these people have learned about this word and male issues from the show Adolescence on Netflix, which is a fictitious show. It never happened. It's not true. And these men know about prostitution. They know that there are cities where they could go get laid. It's not hard. They understand this. What's crazy is that they jump to this whole incel discussion, and somehow you want to convince the world that Kamala Harris didn't win presidency because incels didn't want her to. That's just insane. That's just insane. When you meet a guy who is still a virgin later on in his life, the question isn't about whether he can go pay for it. They know they can pay for it. In that particular conversation, it's about him wanting genuine desire from a woman. They know, right? But that's not what this is about. This is about another delusional woman who has another horrible solution to the current problem: more prostitution. Think about that for a second. This is this woman right here's solution of how she believes society will be improved overall.
Standing on this for decades, and I think that prostitution should be legalized.
Okay.
They will never do this, but that I think would be a massive solve.
Massive solve. Okay.
One
okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Ask follow-ups.
No. Follow-up is what, because that's a temporary loneliness fix, although it's effective. What would be a long-term fix to bringing people back together? What do you think?
Okay. So while it's a temporary fix, right? And many people will have some retorts to this, of course. It's not a simple solve, but I believe that straight male biology and particularly men who have this sort of anger, is because they don't get physical intimacy, right? But they have convinced themselves the type of physical intimacy they would like is, their favorite star or favorite OnlyFans girl or this unattainable beauty on Instagram who is never, ever, ever, ever going to you or meet you or talk to you ever. So they don't look for the physical intimacy that is around them. They don't go outside of their home. They don't go down to the local library. They don't go to their local bar. They don't go join a social group in order to meet people because they feel that this beautiful 10, whatever, is going to walk through their front door and suck their dick, and that's never going to happen. But they sit there scrolling like, hey, in the DMs, and they believe then that the women are not responding to them because of feminism.
Wait a minute. So are you telling me that when the pizza guy shows up to the door?
Yeah, I don't suck his dick, actually.
I mean, but that's not real. That doesn't happen.
I know. The setups and points are insane.
But
and you buffer pass.
But I don't.
You buffer pass or not?
Well, I buy, so I don't. I'm a porn buyer, so I don't. So like it, I get my shit in the top quality, like it's because I'm actually supporting. Yeah. Like I get my shit.
You want it clear?
Yeah, I don't want to fucking. Y'all niggas, I don't understand how y'all niggas. Y'all niggas want spyware on y'all computers and all of that stuff like that.
It's a lot.
I watch the BTS. I watch the behind the scenes. I want to know.
Watch the interviews. Interviews are such a waste of time. I hate an interview porn. You're just sitting there and it's like flash, 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 and it's back to her talking. No, what's the point?
No, I want to know. Hi, my name is Candace. I'm from Rialto. Well, anyway,
we have derailed. The point is, I think intimacy is a big problem. I think men not having sex is a big problem.
But this is my
and the confidence that comes from not having physical intimacy, not having the ability to have sex, turns them into these raging psychopaths that then blame feminism and women running for presidents as the reason why society is deteriorating. And then they go out and vote as such in favor of trillionaires who wouldn't give a if they had their last breath halfway through this podcast. Do you think?
There you guys go. Not really surprising because the last video we actually covered when it came to Joy Taylor was her talking about how she is no way interested in a man who takes any part of God very seriously, right? Like she doesn't want somebody who takes their faith seriously, which makes sense. Of course, you'd get a woman here. The result of that would be this. I'm not saying everybody who doesn't believe in God is like this, but then you wouldn't be surprised. Let's read a few of these comments and see how people responded back to this video. Top comment here says, "We finally getting to see the real her." Yep. This woman's almost 40 years old. This commenter says she's 38 and no longer 28. So it's natural that she shows her bitterness about not getting chose by the men she wanted. Somebody else here followed up and says, "What does 38 have to do with anything?" Shaking my head. People say anything. Guess what? In life, you get older and you die. And she isn't 98. And where was the bitterness? This person says 38 has everything to do with it. Joy Taylor was never acting/talking like this in 2015. Do the math. It's a trend with women like her. It really is. Women do, unfortunately, unmarried women who've gone through a lot of men, a lot.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
We know she was allegedly passed around the office like a freshly rolled blunt. This tends to be their final form, is bitter and kind of angry. Somebody else who says black and brown male masculinity been under attack for centuries. Somebody else here added, Alexa, play The Real Her by Drake. Somebody else here added, what a sad, sad little woman. No one ever thinks of the repercussions of something as detrimental as, and guys, I get it. We probably will. I believe we probably will get to a point where prostitution will be legalized, but no one understands that there are horrible cons to that happening as well. If you think of an industry that's incentivized to encourage people to join in a market where they sell their bodies, things can get very, very ugly when you're dealing with capitalist-minded people who don't believe in that being a moral issue at all. It's very interesting because right next to her saying they should legalize prostitution, you know that the majority of men who are going to be just like drowning themselves in that market will be rich men. And right below there, you have Diddy, who's being accused of trafficking. This person says prostitution will become legal and women will still blame men somehow for their actions. Says femininity is under attack, then suggests prostitution should be legalized. You can't make this shit up. Another person who says, why do y'all keep giving her a platform? When people say that, what do they mean, giving her a platform? I always wonder what people mean by that. She has her own platform. Maybe they mean don't post her, and people are going to talk. Right? Goes on to say, instead of taking accountability for what she did, she'd rather go around and justify it. LOL. Men, we done. These women twisted now. Just have fun with them, and that's it. Lack of accountability, enablement. She's on a run right now. Listen, of course, guys, curious to know what you think. Comment down below. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, maybe you're somebody who's proposing soon. Remember, fathershaverights.com. If you need a prenup but don't know where to start, we help you before you hire your attorney. Talk soon. I'm out. Peace.